going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another edition of the Triple Threat Show. As always, I'm your host, Merriff Temi. We got no Jeremy Lapidus with us, no Nolan Jambor. Today, it's just me. You just got your boy Rob on a beautiful Friday morning, 9 a.m. Hope you guys are having a wonderful start to your Fridays and last day before the weekend. Come on, cheer up. Let's have a great day today, guys. But for today's show, we're just gonna go right into it. We're just gonna talk a little bit about Thursday night football. Patriots Jets recap that game. The Patriots officially 9-2, the first team to get to 9 wins so far in the NFL regular season, the best record in the NFL through what? We're 11 weeks in now. Uh, this is just a phenomenal season. When we're just to start it off with the Patriots, major props to Travion Henderson. I know last week was a little bit of a preview to Travion Henderson stuff. Him just kind of bursting onto the scene. He's done some things, but we know how much Mike Vrabel has talked about, and the rest of the team, the media's talked so much about how Travion Henderson cannot block. Plain and simple. It's the amount of times that they've talked about it, how much they've forced the fact that he has an issue with blocking on the offensive line, blocking for Ramondre Stevenson, blocking for Drake May to get passes down the field if he's an extra blocker. You just can't do it. And sometimes it's just his size. I mean, he's about 5'10". He's not the biggest guy on the field, so you got to give him some prop. You got to give him a second to breathe, especially as a rookie. You got to give him a second to grow into the NFL and kind of get used to things. But no Ramondre Stevenson last night. This kid shows up and honestly looked like an absolute tank out there. 3 touchdowns for the man. You just gotta love what you saw from him overall. And he was the star of the show for the Patriots. 62 yards on 19 carries. Not a whole lot to speak about, but 2 touchdowns, like I said, adding another one through the air in the receptions, 5 receptions for 31 yards. Wasn't the best day for him, but I mean, in terms of touchdown percentage, in terms of how much they were using him in the red zone, how much of the load he was taking in terms of offensively, how much of the use, how much the offense relied on him as a rookie. This was Travion Henderson's first real big game on center stage, on prime time, and then we go over to Drake May. He's the leader for the MVP. Come on. At this point, it's him or Mahomes. If you want to look outside of them, you got Jonathan Taylor. You can bring in Puka Nacua as well if you want. But it's Drake May and Patrick Mahomes. In my opinion right now, it's Drake May leading the way. You can't say it's not. This is a Patriots team that couldn't even sniff 7 wins for the last 3 years. The last time the Patriots had any sort of success to this level was 2021 in Mac Jones' rookie year when the Patriots went to the playoffs for the first time and since Brady left in 2019. Granted, it was 2 years, but if I'm being fully honest, Drake May looks good, if not better than Mac Jones right now in his rookie year. I'm just calling it what it is. Now, we got to give a lot of props to Mike Vrabel and how much he's coached up a defense to back up Drake May, to bail him out of some situations. There were a couple throws, especially in that second quarter. Drake May threw the ball a couple times to the sideline, almost got picked off, and then that deep ball into double coverage when he was looking for Kyle Williams down the right sideline. I mean, those were 2 times specifically that I can just name off the top of my head where Drake May just looked a little bit errant with it. But at the end of the day, he's a rookie, went 25-34 for 281 and a touchdown, and the Patriots are 9-2. Nothing else to really be said. On the other side for the Jets, same old situation. 2-8. Well, and drop another game to get to 2-8. Justin Fields, I mean, it's a disaster in New York. He's 15-26 for 116 yards and a touchdown. I mean, there's not a whole lot to speak about when you look at this Jets offense. I mean, you lose Garrett Wilson for the year. Okay. Breece Hall, he's begging to be traded at this point. He didn't do too bad. 14 carries for 58 yards going up against the best run defense in the NFL. You can't call it a bad day for him. John Mechie, major props to John Mechie. It's a very great sign. It's a very feel-good story that he has. Came into the league after battling cancer. Kind of gets bounced around the league for a while. Goes from the Texans to the Jets finally. And he's kind of just prospered here a little bit. 3 catches, 45 yards, catches the touchdown, the sole reception touchdown. The other touchdown was a run-in by Justin Fields. But it's just nice to see John Mechie finally starting to blossom his career a little bit. So major props to him. Happy he's doing well. But the Jets are just the Jets. The defense hanging on by an absolute thread right now. They give up their safety Sauce Gardner. They give up Quentin Williams for pretty much 2 first-round picks. Pretty much just looking like they're just ready to blow up the team come this offseason. I expect Brees Hall to get traded. I expect Garrett Wilson to get traded. I expect the New York Jets to just hit the reset button, blow the entire thing up, and get ready for a new season. Get ready for a new team, a new culture to be built in New York. And Justin Fields is not the answer. This is just a 1-year replacement, and that's what he's proven to be. I mean, it's Justin Fields. This is a guy who was a backup last year. Who I want to call him a backup. He was splitting carries as the starting quarterback with Russell Wilson last year with the Steelers. Gets run out of Chicago the year before that. I mean, this is the third team he's had in 4 years, and this could be, I won't say it's the end of the line because there have been some flashes that Justin Fields can be good, but in terms of his ability to throw the ball accurately, consistently, he just hasn't been able to do that for me. So this could be the end of the line in terms of Justin Fields as a starting quarterback. He could be a serviceable backup, but in terms of starting, this could be the end of the line for him and the Jets as well in terms of their season. It wasn't anything to brag about regardless, but the major question is, after recapping that game, here's the bottom line. Are the Patriots good enough to win a Super Bowl? Are the Patriots true Super Bowl contenders? I would say their ceiling, their potential is absolutely the Super Bowl. Their defense is good enough. Their offense is growing, continuing to grow, and backed up by that defense, can do some things. That's what I'll say. Their defense is the major strong unit. That's the main unit. That is the powerhouse. That is what keeps the Patriots in games. That's pretty much they bail out the offense from time to time. Let's be honest. That's what they do, especially against some of the better teams in the NFL. That's what they do, and that's what they will continue to do. However, if this offense wants to get to the level of being able to beat the Chiefs, being able to beat the Chargers, being able to beat the Ravens even, I need to see more from Drake May. And that could be a little bit too crazy to say. Stephon Diggs, 9 receptions for 105 yards last night. Mac Hollins, 4 catches for 64. Hunter Henry, 4 catches for 45. They have guys. They have the ability to do some things. However, I just need to see Drake May get, and I want to give this a lot of credit to Kirk Herbstreit because I'm going to steal his stat, and I am kind of unapologetic about it. Drake May, the Patriots haven't seen a quarterback throw for over 300 yards in 4 years since Mac Jones's rookie season. That's all I got to say. And that's why sometimes I hesitate to say Drake May right now looks better than Mac Jones because Mac Jones was dealing with so much more nonsense than what Drake May is right now. Drake May has a great head coach, has a great offensive coordinator, while Mac Jones was dealing with Bill Belichick, which granted, Bill Belichick, he hadn't gotten too far into the deep end yet, but was starting to fall into that abyss, so to speak, that we're seeing him in right now. We haven't seen a quarterback throw. I want to see Drake May have one of those games where he just slings the ball, gets over 300 yards. The Patriots have a demolishing win over a good team. Doesn't have to be a great team, but say against the Bengals. Let's take a peek at the Patriots schedule coming up. Well, I promise I didn't even mean to do that. They play the Bengals next. Let's say they do it against the Bengals. Bengals with a bad defense. That's a big reason why I said it. I would say at that point, it's possible. They do it against the Giants, at home against the Giants, against the Bills at home, who Bills have their own slew of problems right now, but the Bills are going to be highly motivated for that game, especially after the Patriots beat them on their home turf. I don't know. I just need to see Drake May have one of those 300-yard games. That's all I'm saying. The run game looks good. Trayvon Henderson is growing. The passing game looks like Stephon Diggs is the leader of that group and is the veteran that's growing the next generation, the Kyle Williams of the group. Also, the Patriots didn't have Kayshon Boutte last night, which is a big thing. Kayshon Boutte as well. Matt Collins can be kind of a seasoned veteran as well. I just need this. I just need to see a little bit more from Drake May. That's all I'm saying. But the Patriots advanced to 9-2, number one in the entire NFL right now, 9-2, and look like the star of the show right now in the NFL. True Super Bowl contenders. But this isn't just the Patriots show. That's not what we're doing here. Let's continue to move on and get to NFL Sunday, because there are some games that I'll get to. This is a juicy weekend. Week 11 is not here to disappoint. Let's start over in Madrid, 9:30 in the morning on Eastern time. If you guys are on the West Coast, 6:30. 3 hour. Yeah, 6:30. Early wake up time for you guys on the West Coast. But we got the Washington Commanders and the Miami Dolphins. Right off the bat, the Dolphins are probably going to win this game, especially coming off of the win that they had last week. I expect them to continue that momentum, continue to play at a high level. This is going to be in Madrid, so I expect the weather to play in the Miami Dolphins' favor a little bit. I got the Dolphins going in and getting this one in Spain, in España, and coming back to the States with a big win. Next up, Packers and Giants. Giants coming off of firing Brian Daboll, which is an absolute mess. Giants players really love that coach. He's a players coach. You look at Jackson Dart. I'm sorry, I blanked on his name. Jackson Dart. Just look at him on the sideline after some of those wins, just hugging Brian Daboll. You hear reports of them being in the film room for 10 hours, especially in those first couple of games that he started, being in the film room, talking to one another, having each other's backs, Dart learning from Daboll learning with Dart. Just really, it looked like a great companionship over there. But Daboll's just been thrown under the bus time and time again, losing his starting running back, losing his starting wide receiver, and still backing a great defense. But with Jameis Winston starting this week instead of Dart in concussion protocol, I do expect the Packers to win this game, but this is a big game in New York. I will say, if the Green Bay Packers lose this game, Matt LaFleur's job is in high jeopardy. I don't want to say he's getting fired, especially a team that's probably looking to make it to the playoffs, but Matt LaFleur's got a lot of problems. We saw a lot of issues with him against the Eagles on Monday Night Football this past weekend. We saw them lose a terrible game against the Carolina Panthers. If you guys saw that game, it was there's a reason a lot of people had the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse theme music going on in some of the highlights on social media. It really was. It was an absolute dumpster fire of a game. It was a meme of a game. A lot of people laughing at Jordan Love right now on social media. And this is a big game for the Packers. If they lose this game, they fall to what? They'll be 5-4. Granted, because they tied against the Cowboys. They'll fall to 5-4 in a tough division, led with the Lions, the Vikings, the Bears, the up-and-coming Bears, the 6-3 Bears. If they lose this game, this would be a pretty bad loss for the Packers, and especially in a loaded NFC. They're going to really need this game. So I'm going to roll with the Packers. They're going to be desperate. They're going to be ready to go. I trust them. Moving on. Texans, Titans. Cam Ward, CJ Stroud. CJ Stroud is not playing this week. This is in Tennessee. Texans don't have a whole lot going for them. Their defense, I take that back. Their defense is really good. Their offense doesn't have a whole lot going for them, though. Nick Chubb starting running back. Woody Marks and Nick Chubb kind of splitting the touches back there. You got Nico Collins. I call him Nico Harrison. Nico Collins as their starting wide receiver. Just not a whole lot to work with the Texans. Not a whole lot to see. Not a whole lot of eye candy. Nothing pops out. I'm going to roll with the Titans on this one. Cam Ward goes out, gets a big divisional win, continues to grow his confidence, and the Titans get their second win of the season. From there, what do we got next? We got Panthers-Falcons. This is a rematch from earlier in the season, if you guys remember. The Panthers decimated the Falcons 30-0. Shut them out. 0 points, 0 donut. 30-0. Granted, in Carolina. Rematch this weekend. Carolina really up and hot. 5-5. Team that's kind of trying to could possibly be going for the division crown here in the NFC South with a Buccaneers team that's reeling. Got a really tough schedule. We'll get into that in a little bit, in just a second. But the Panthers 5-5, just 2 games back on the 6-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want to roll with them. This is a toss-up game. This is going to be in Atlanta. The Falcons still playing decent football. Drake London looks really good. Michael Penix is still really growing as a player. Kyle Pitts is kind of starting to resurrect his career a little bit. That defense looks good. And then, of course, they got the best running back in football in Bijan Robinson. They have all the tools to be good. It's just, can they stop that Panthers offense? I don't know. I'm going to roll with the Panthers on this one in a toss-up game, but I'm going to take the Panthers in the sweep. Next up, Bears-Vikings. Massive division game. Tied with the Lions right now at 6-3 at the top of the division. Vikings at 4-5. Just had a tough loss against the Ravens this past weekend. This is going to be in Minnesota. I'm going to still roll with Caleb Johnson. I don't think that's his name. Caleb Williams, not Caleb. Caleb Williams. What's the coach's name? Why am I blanking on the coach's name right now? Regardless, the Bears, I expect the Bears to go out, get this win. DJ Moore, Kai Monangai looks really good. DeAndre Swift looks really good. The defense has been playing lights out for the Bears recently. They have had a little bit of a soft schedule. This is a test for them. We're going to learn if they're actually a legit team or not. But I'm going to roll with the Bears in Minnesota to get this one done. Next up, Chargers-Jaguars. It's okay. The Jaguars are okay. But I want to roll with the Chargers on this one. The Chargers look really good. Kamani Vidal finally starting to really get something together here for the Chargers. I know the Chargers are still rolling with guys that they're picking up off the street for their offensive line. But Justin Herbert is proving why he's still a top 6 quarterback in the NFL right now. Their wide receiver core looks really good. Keenan Allen looks really good. Ladd McConkey's starting to pick it up. This new, I don't remember his name, the tight end that they had, the rookie tight end that's been playing really well over the last 4 or 5 weeks here. I'm going to roll with the Chargers and their defense to go into Jacksonville and get a big win. I got a lot of the road teams winning so far early in the 1 o'clock slates. But here's a big time game. Buccaneers, Buffalo Bills. Tampa Bay suffering a tough loss against the Patriots. Buffalo suffering a really brutal loss against the desperate. You want to call them desperate? I'd call them desperate Miami Dolphins. I'm going to roll with the Bills. This is in Buffalo. I know their defense has problems. I know Josh Allen kind of reverted back to his 2022 self when a lot of people were saying he's a turnover machine. I said the same thing back then. I'm going to pump the brakes. I'm going to give him some time. I'm going to say he went into Miami. This is a cold weather team going into a hot environment. It's just a tough place to play. New England always loses there. Buffalo, kind of the same situation. I don't blame them for losing in Miami. It happens. It is what it is. But don't lose again. This is a really good Buccaneers team. They could be having Bucky Irving has been activated. He's not active, but he's activated off of IR, so he has 3 weeks to come back. Mike Evans is still out. Baker Mayfield, still kind of in the MVP conversation. Isn't truly up there with Drake May and Patrick Mahomes and the rest of the guys, but it's still kind of floating around over there. I'm going to roll with the Buffalo Bills, though. Josh Allen is that dude. The wide receiver core is really good, and James Cook is still a top 5 running back in the NFL. I don't care if that's a hot take. He's a top 5 running back in the NFL. That's another conversation for another day, though. Next up, Bengals, Steelers. AFC North Classic Divisional Clash. Bengals, Steelers. There is some rumors. Actually, I take that back. I don't think Joe Burrow's back yet. I think he's getting ready. He's waiting for that game. I think it's next week or 2 weeks from now against the Baltimore Ravens. Whenever they play the Ravens, that's when I think Joe Burrow is targeting a return. Yes, it's in 2 weeks. After or during the Thanksgiving week. That's when Joe Burrow is targeting his return. But at the same time, the Steelers are trying to bounce back after a really brutal loss, getting demolished on Sunday Night Football against the Chargers last weekend. You can't do that. This is a big game in the AFC. The Steelers are holding the AFC North crown right now, top spot, by a hair. The Ravens are on their heels. Winners of 3 in a row. Steelers dropped 2 in a row. They kind of need to bounce back against a team that beat them earlier on in the season. This is the rematch, the second divisional matchup in Pittsburgh. I'm still rolling with Cincinnati. I know Joe Flacco is that guy. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Chase Brown. The entire offense is starting to piece it together. The Steelers could win this. This is a toss-up game at the same time. Let's make that clear. This is a toss-up game. But I'm going to roll with the team that I trust more. The offense that I trust more is the Cincinnati Bengals. I know the Steelers' defense is good, but I don't trust the Steelers' offense to be able to be consistent enough to make plays. The Bengals are coming off a bye week. They're rested. They're tempered. They're ready to go. I'm going to roll with the Bengals to come out on a big game, trying to turn their season around as well. I don't think the Bengals are truly out of it. They're 3-6. They're only 2 games back on the top spot up for the AFC North. This is why I'm saying Steelers 5-4, Ravens 4-5, Bengals 3-6. They're not out of it. Joe Burrow's coming back. If they can win this game, that would be big time stuff for this Bengals team. So I'm going to roll with the Bengals going on the road. Another road team. Let's keep it going, though. Next up, we're starting to creep into the 4 o'clock slate. Get ready. Buckle up. We got the 49ers and Cardinals. Divisional matchup. Another one. Big-time game in Arizona. Arizona loves to, frankly, Arizona has San Francisco's number. Especially in Arizona. I can't tell you the amount of times. I don't have the stat in front of me. We'll probably have a show later on today with Jeremy, and we'll have that stat ready to go. But the Cardinals have the 49ers number almost every year. They always split. It's always a tough game. Jacoby Brissett is going to be starting for this game. Brock Purdy isn't 100%. Hasn't been 100% active. Is activated, but isn't active yet. He's still questionable, I believe. I don't know. I'm going to say I'm still rolling with the Cardinals to win this game. It's going to depend on the health of Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's a big piece of this Cardinals offense. But I trust this Cardinals defense big time. I'm going to roll with the Cardinals at home to get a big win over the Niners. I'm also a Seahawks fan, just to make it clear, so we always prey on the Niners' downfall. It's just what we do. It's what we do here. Seahawks fans know, Niners fans know. It's always a thing. But let's go right into the next one. Seahawks, Rams. NFC Championship preview game. You heard me. NFC Championship preview game. Seattle rolling into LA. Cooper Kupp returning to the LA Rams. Sam Darnold playing the Rams for the first time since that wild card game where he got embarrassed when he was a member of the Vikings this last season. And a big reason why the Vikings cut him after the game was over. This is a big time game. This is possibly the biggest game of the NFL season through 11 weeks. I'm being so serious. Everybody that knows football right now, all the airway, ESPN, NFL Network, CBS, everybody's talking about this game. This is the game of the week. This is the game of the year so far through 11 weeks, and it's the first of 2 matchups. This is a test for both of these teams. Let's start it off with the Rams side of things before we get to Seattle. Is Matthew Stafford and this offense going to be able to hold its own against the Seattle defense? This is the Seattle defense that has just been they put up ridiculous numbers over the last few weeks. Ridiculous. Leading the league in pressures, leading the league in sacks. Dexter Lawrence has been putting up ridiculous 2 touchdowns last week against the Arizona Cardinals. The secondary is starting to get healthy. Devin Witherspoon is back. Julian Love is back. Reek Woolen is back. The entire team is ready to go. All the pieces are starting to fall in place. But can that Rams offense hold its own? Can Matthew Stafford sit in the pocket, and deliver that football. I know that we saw Baker Mayfield do it. That's why a lot of people are saying this is going to be a shootout. I personally think this is going to be a classic Seahawks Rams matchup. This is going to be a 27-20 score, 27-25 score, a touchdown, or a field goal difference, a one possession game. Either way, I don't know which way it's going to fall, but it's going to fall that way. Can the Rams defense hold that Seahawks offense? And then we get to the Seahawks side of things. This Seahawks offense is, I don't want to say good yet. No, they're good. I don't want to say they're great yet because this is a Seahawks offense that's proven itself against some of the better teams in the league right now so far. But this is their best. This is their biggest test. This is the test that if can Sam Darnold sit in a pocket with pressure in his face and deliver a good football? Can JSN be a wide receiver one going up against a top corner in the league and be able to hold his own? And then the question is, what's going to happen with Kenneth Walker? Can the Seahawks offense get the running game going? Can they get Ken Walker going? Can they get Zach Charbonnet going? These are 7-2 teams in the NFC West. These are two of the 7-2 teams in the same division going head to head this week. And in my opinion, I think the Rams are better than the Eagles. I know the Eagles beat the Rams early in the season. I don't care. The Rams, in my opinion, are better than them. This is the game of the week. This is the game of the year. I'm not picking a team. I'm not. Because it's really 50-50. Whoever wins is going to be a field goal. It's going to be a 27-24 difference, I think. That's going to be the final score. Get ready for a phenomenal game. If you guys have any time Sunday night, or Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock if you're on the West Coast, 4 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, sit down, get some popcorn, get some pizza, get some wings, get yourself a blanket, and get ready to watch some football because this is going to be a great game. I'm going to leave it at that. If you really want me to pick a team, I'm going to pick the Seahawks because I'm a Seahawks fan. But at the same time, this is a really, really, really big game. It would be unfair for me to pick a team. But yeah, let's go back. Let's continue to move on because that was such a good game. Let's move on to the next one. Chiefs Broncos. This is equally as big, if not bigger. Broncos 8-2. A lot of people saying the Broncos are the most fraudulent 8-2 team in NFL history. Are they wrong? They're not 100% wrong. This is a Broncos team that barely squeaked out a 10-7 win against the Vegas Raiders last week. Granted, it's a divisional game. On a short week, it's a divisional game. But Bo Nix looked horrid in that game. Horrid. Like, awful. They barely, the Vegas Raiders need to be studied with how bad Geno Smith is looking right now, with how bad that offense looks in general. Get Brock Bowers out of Vegas because he is just sitting there collecting dust. He's a hidden gem sitting in the rough. But regardless, the Chiefs really need this win. They're 5-4. They need to climb back into the divisional races. The first of two matchups. This is in Denver. So I want to roll. I'm already leaning towards Denver because already it's higher altitude. Regardless, it's a divisional game, but the higher altitude, the defense, everything's pointing towards Denver. But don't count out Kansas City at all. Patrick Mahomes is going to be ready for this game. Andy Reid knows how big this game is. A lot of people are saying Kansas City's good, but look at their record. Are they truly good enough to make it there? This is a good AFC. Regardless of how weak it is, this is still a decent AFC. And this is a 5-4 Chiefs team that started behind the 8 ball with Rashee Rice out at the beginning of the year. I believe they also had Xavier Worthy out at the beginning of the year. So they were all banged up, lost a few games, started off the season like 1-3 or something. I forget exactly what, 2-4, regardless, whatever it is. They're playing really good football now. That's all that matters. It's going to be about, can they continue it? Can they keep that progress going? I'm still rolling with the Broncos because I think the Broncos are the better team, especially in Denver. But I'm not counting out Kansas City whatsoever. This is going to be a great game. Let's move forward. Ravens-Browns. Why is this a great game? Well, the Ravens, for whatever reason, love to lose against Cleveland. I don't know why it's a thing, but it's a thing. I think it's the fact that Lamar Jackson doesn't know how to throw the football out of bounds when he's under pressure. Myles Garrett is going to be in his face as usual, but we'll see how it all plays out. I'm going to say the Ravens win this game again, but the Browns, like I said, have a real tendency to beat the Ravens. They did it last year. They did it the year before. I believe they're like 3-2 when they play. The Browns are 3-2 against the Ravens when they play in Cleveland. This is a big test for the Ravens. The Ravens 3 in a row, division opponent. Can they hold their own in a big time game? I'm still rolling with the Ravens, but the Browns, don't count them out. I wouldn't touch this game if you are a better. Lions Eagles on Sunday Night Football, classic NFC Championship recap. Revenge game, whatever. I can't remember the name of it. What's the term I'm thinking of? NFC Championship rematch. Thank you, Brian. Plain and simple, I'm rolling with the Eagles on this one. The Lions are good, but this is in Philly. I expect the Eagles to be ready to go. I expect them to show up and show out. I know the Lions are going to be highly motivated, but this is in Philly. I expect their defense to be ready to go. I expect that crowd to be loud. I expect Saquon Barkley to have a big game on the ground because the Lions defense has been a little bit porous. They've shown signs of cracking recently. They lost that game against the Vikings. I'm going to roll with the Eagles on this one to advance to 8-2 on Sunday Night Football. Classic Sunday Night Football matchup, but I'm rolling with the Eagles to get this one done. And finally, Cowboys Raiders. Dumpster fire. Why are the Raiders on primetime again? Somebody explain to me, why are the Raiders on primetime for 2 weeks in a row? But regardless, I'm rolling with the Cowboys. That's all that needs to be said. Cowboys are winning this game. The Raiders offense is putrid. Get Geno Smith out of cut Geno and then get Brock Bowers out of there because he needs somebody to save him. He is begging for help. But regardless, we'll run through it one more time. My picks for the week: Dolphins, Packers, Titans, Panthers, Bears. I'm trying to remember. Chargers, Bills, Bengals, Cardinals, Seahawks, Broncos, Ravens, Eagles, and Cowboys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to drop a follow, drop a comment, drop a like. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.